welcome to a Sunday night discussion roundtable show. I'm your hostess with the mostest, the Podfather, aka Eric Boggs. We are joined tonight by Corey. We are joined by DK. And we are joined by Buck Vader. We'll get into all of them in just a second. But first, want to give a nice little shout out to all of you who download the audio version of the podcast. Thanks for taking us with you wherever you go. If you listen in your car, truck, on the bus, on the train, at the gym. Maybe you just want to listen to us there in the office because you're tired of listening to your boss. I get it. Thanks for putting us in your earbuds. We really appreciate that very, very much. Please consider giving us a 5-star review. Hey, tonight's show is brought to you guys by A Place at Home Dublin. That's right, A Place at Home Senior Care in Dublin, Ohio is there for your loved ones recovering from a recent hospitalization, stroke, or fall. Maybe they're living with dementia. They need some support at home. A Place at Home Dublin provides that home care supportive services that your loved one needs and deserves. Feel free to learn more at aplaceathome.com/Dublin or call them 740-472-8181. Again, I'll give that number to you one more time, 740-472-8181. And if you call them, let them know that you heard about them on the OHIO podcast. Well, Dylan, welcome back, buddy.
You know, I had to dust off the microphone. I had to plug everything back in. It had been a minute since I've done a podcast. And then this room flooded a few weeks ago. So like it was bad. But we got it fixed and we're all here. And I can't hear myself talk, but that's a blessing. I can only hear your crispy, beautiful voices.
Oh, well, thank you. It's good to hear your lovely voice this evening. Dylan, tell everybody if they're new who you are and where you're from and how they can follow you.
Well, I'm a proud Boilermaker. Used to do a podcast called the Boiler Express Podcast. I think we're done. I don't know. We still have a group chat. We all talk to each other. You know, lives get in the way. But right now I'm a podcast free agent for the moment. So I don't know. We'll figure something out when it comes football season because, you know, Boilermaker football, it's so much fun. But we're, so you can find me on Twitter at DK Saying Things, artist formerly known as at Dylan Kuhn, but I had to go a little incognito in my current profession. Because turns out third graders can use the internet much better than I thought they could. So I had to go a little incognito. So it's DK Saying Things. And that's where I say things most of the time.
Excellent. Vader, I'll come to you last. Corey, tell everybody who you are, how you been. It's been a couple weeks, man. So it's good to see you tonight, and where they could follow you if they want your amazing takes.
You know, I've been gone a couple weeks, and then I come back to you and DK flirting with each other. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. And then you said you wanted to be in us. I don't know. I'm not loving this so far. This is a new progressive, very very intolerant OHIO podcast.
Well, don't worry, we're going to be talking about Donald Trump here in a little bit, so it's going to be just fine.
When I got those show notes, I texted Eric. I was like, "Great, thanks for adding me in on this one."
Oh, I can't wait to go full MAGA on every. I'm just kidding.
Break out the red hat. Good Lord.
Well, Buckeye hats are red, so
true.
Vader, give me your introduction, big boy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Buck Vader, and no, I didn't bring a lightsaber, but I did bring enough scarlet and gray energy to power the horseshoe. I am incredibly excited to be joining tonight's roundtable. We're diving into the Save College Sports Summit, and let's be honest, in a world of nil, conference realignments, and constant chaos, someone has to bring a little order to the galaxy. I've spent my life bleeding Buckeye nuts and singing Hang On Sloopy in my sleep, so I'm ready to get into the weeds on how we protect the traditions we love while navigating this new frontier. The force is strong with Ohio State, and I'm ready to talk about how we keep it that way. Let's get to work.
All right, let's do it, everybody. So while we wait for Dylan to, restart that internet over there and where he's at, we'll just dive right into tonight's topics, everybody. So it was Friday. President Trump, along with some people from Capitol Hill, had some dignitaries of college football as well as some current powers that be in college football. Join them on Capitol Hill for the College Football Summit to talk about the sport that we all love. Now, before we dive into these topics, we're gonna cover 3 questions with this tonight, and then we're gonna get into a couple different other topics this evening. I want to say this: the names of who was there was a who's who of college football. Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, former coaches. You had the athletic director of Notre Dame there. You had the commissioner of the Big Ten and the SEC there. You had a representative of the NCAA there. You had President Trump there and others from government. It was a who's who. However,
Not my president.
you had to go there, didn't you?
It's going to be too hard to resist, man.
There was one glaring party not represented and missing in all of this. The
Iran?
players.
Oh,
I knew you were going to have something, Corey. I paused. I was like, and Corey's joke will be? No, it was the players. The players weren't there. So here's how we're going to run this tonight. We are going to have Vader go first because he's got 3 different. Like I said, we have 3 different topics. We're going to cover 3 different questions with this. Vader's going to give his answers first, and then we will respond to those after that. Welcome back, DK.
Yeah, sorry. The technical difficulties are plenty.
Well, when you come on the OHIO podcast, it's expected for there to be technical difficulties. That's how we do things around here.
Very true.
All right, question number 1 this evening. What was your takeaway from this event? Vader, you get to go first.
Look, we've all been watching the Save College Sports Summit at the White House and reading through the proposals like the SAFE Act, and I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think this fix is going to fix anything. In fact, if you're a fan of Ohio State, you should be deeply concerned about what they're trying to do. First, let's talk about the pooling media rights proposal. The core of this plan is to treat college football like the NFL, where all 130-plus FBS schools pool their TV rights together to negotiate as one block. On paper, they say it adds $6 or $7 billion in value. But let's use some common sense. Ohio State is one of the biggest brands in the world. Our games against Michigan, Penn State, Oregon are the reason these TV networks pay billions. The SEC and the Big Ten already did the math. Pooling our rights with 100 other schools that don't bring the same eyeballs doesn't supercharge revenue for us, it dilutes it. It's essentially a massive tax on the Buckeyes to subsidize programs that haven't invested in their infrastructure the way we have. We're being asked to take a smaller slice of the pie to save schools that don't drive the market. Second, the federal intervention they're calling for is a double-edged sword. They want a national standard for nil and an antitrust exemption. But look at the fine print. It requires wealthy programs, specifically those like Ohio State, making over $125 million to fund massive scholarship increases for non-revenue sports. We already support 36 varsity sports, which is more than almost anyone in the country. Now, the government wants to mandate even higher costs on top of the 22% revenue sharing we're already moving toward. This isn't about saving the game, it's about control. It's about creating a college sports commission that would strip power away from the conferences and the universities. If this passes, the decisions about how Ohio State spends its money, how it schedules its games, and how it compensates its athletes won't be made in Columbus, they'll be made by a committee in D.C. The current system is chaotic, sure. But Ohio State is built to win in this chaos. We have the resources, the brand, and the fan base to adapt to nil and revenue sharing better than anyone. By leveling the playing field through federal law, all they're really doing is trying to legislatively stop the Buckeyes from using the advantages we've spent a century building. College sports needs a solution, but a government-mandated redistribution of Buckeye resources isn't it? We shouldn't be saved by being dragged down to everyone else's level.
DK, as a Purdue fan, do, do you think it's fair that Ohio State that you get a piece of that pie
Man, he's
from
like a lowly Purdue fan. You represent the small guys that have no
you
money. Go
represent
ahead.
the small guy in college football here in the Big Ten? Yes, 100%.
You're the peasant we want to talk
And
to.
we can't hear you. You're muted.
I was muted. That's right. Listen, I have a podcast in a minute. We're trying. Yeah, as the crappy programs representative on this podcast, no, I'd say it's not fair. I mean, if you're going to do things the way it is now, and you're going to try and, I mean, they should make it even. But I feel like the way if we're going to talk about the way it is right now, us lower end programs who may not have the NIL funds gotta do what we can to fight with the big dogs. I mean, IU's done it, and if IU can do it, hell, anybody can do it. The fact IU went from the worst program in the country for a long decades to winning a national title, anybody can do it. And so I think and if you would ask before IU did what they did, it may be a little different, but IU just showed that, you can do it. You can get it done. You can find the donors. And they got Mark Cuban, and I don't know where he'd been all these years, and he decided to show up now. But I don't think it's fair, because when you think of, the work the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Oregons have put in to being where they are, the lower programs shouldn't just get a handout. And I wouldn't want a handout like that. I don't think that would be good for anybody involved. So the way it is right now, no, I think, handouts like that would be lame, for lack of a better term.
All right, Corey. I'm intrigued to hear how you're going to take what your takeaway was from this event over Friday.
Oh, I didn't watch the event, but I will admit that I've listened to DK and I listened to Buck Vader, and I completely agree. You know what the best words in English language are when I do it. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. You can't count on the government to do anything correctly. In fact, the only thing they seem to agree upon is hiding sexual misconduct records. So it seems to be the only thing they're bipartisan on.
True.
So I can't. Yeah, as you can tell, I can't stand government. Period. They make things harder, not easier. Generally speaking, I tell you this as a former small business owner. By the way, the government red tape, the taxes, the regulations you go through almost choke you to death, to the point where you can't function as a small business. And so I have no love for anything. I'd rather have it be as chaotic as it is right now than have government step in and try to help, because they're just going to end up hurting people, and they're going to end up hurting the sport even more.
Hey guys,
I really think, if anything, college football, the heads of college football, or the leaders of college football, who are the voices, need to get together. And it really needs to be, unfortunately, you're not going to like me here saying this, but it's going to have to be collectively the coaches, the major coaches in college football, getting together and saying we need to form something on our own, because NCAA is gutless. They have no authority. The courts overrule them anyway. That's exactly why the federal government wants to put rules in place to where the courts can't overrule them. But still, that's not the answer. I think the coaches are just going to have to collectively say, hey, enough's enough. We got to figure out some kind of framework here for functionality of how this is going to work. You don't want to leave programs in the dust, obviously, but, DK just said it. Indiana's done it, so why can't other people do it? It's in fact, if anything, right now, it's easier to do than ever. The way the current system is set up. I mean, it's like, do you think 20 years ago Indiana would pull off a national championship? Of course not. It'd be impossible with the rules the way they were. Now it's easier than ever. So it doesn't save college football what Congress is proposing, the several plans that they have proposed, or the general framework. It's just going to have to be the leaders of college football, because NCAA is not going to do it, and the fans certainly aren't going to be listened to. So, and who are they going to want to mess with their money? So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, my takeaway from it was this. I opened up the show by saying the players weren't represented in this forum, and at the end of the day, they're the ones who have been pushing the bar. It's been the players and the player agents who've been pushing this thing to the point where it's gotten to, because there's no legislation, there's no collective bargaining to say otherwise. And it's almost like college football went to the government and said, "Save us from ourselves," which shows a complete and total, utter irresponsibility by the NCAA and college football in general.
Well, that's shocking.
We've been saying it for decades now. The NCAA has punted the football down the field. They have passed on these issues, and now when they go to the court, they lose their shorts every single time, just about, because they have no legal ground to stand on. And so, until, as Corey said, the powers that be. Now, I think it's more the commissioners of the conferences, until they are able to all get on the same page and come up with some form of legislation similar to,
Probably include the presidents of the schools as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
Maybe something similar to a collective bargaining agreement, and that's not going to happen until two things: one, players become employees, and two, they have unionization representation. Then you can start to see some bargaining happen. So those are, I think, the next two steps that you need to see happen if we're going to get to that. Question number 2. Did this help to move the football down the field towards fixing some of college football's issues at all? Buck Vader, you are up.
Folks, we need to talk about what's happening in D.C. regarding the future of Ohio State and the rest of the Big Ten. Recently, President Trump made it clear he's threatening to sign an executive order to save college sports if Congress doesn't act immediately. Now, having spent time in the political trenches, I can tell you exactly what this is. It's a forum threat. Here's how that works. Congress absolutely hates executive orders for 2 reasons. First, they have a massive ego. They want a say in everything, even if they agree with the policy. Second, they want the credit. They want to be the ones standing at the podium saying they fixed the nil chaos or saved the scholarships for the sports we love. Will we see a bill pass in the next week or 2? Of course not. This is about getting the ball rolling. Best case scenario, we're looking at the end of the year before meaningful legislation hits the Resolute desk. And remember, the clock is ticking. We swear in a new Congress in January. If it's not done by then, the whole process dies and starts back at zero. What's on the table? If the president or Congress moves forward, here is what we are likely looking at. National nil standards, ending the Wild West of different state laws. Employment status, explicitly stating that student athletes are not employees to prevent schools from being treated like professional franchises. Revenue sharing guardrails, ensuring that while players get paid, we don't bankrupt the non-revenue sports: your wrestling, your track and field, your rowing. Antitrust protection, giving the NCAA or a new body the legal shield to actually enforce rules without getting sued every 5 minutes. Why it might not work? In my professional opinion, this strategy has little to no chance of working, and here are the 3 reasons why. A divided House. The federal government is so polarized right now they couldn't agree if the sky was scarlet and gray. Getting a bipartisan consensus on something as complex as college athletics is a massive lift. The optics of war. We are in an election year and in a time of war. It is terrible optics for leaders to be seen devoting massive resources and floor time to a game while global crises are unfolding. The legal minefield. If the president goes the executive order route, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Beyond the optics, every single provision will be challenged in court. Thanks to the recent Supreme Court decision in Trump v. Casa, lower courts are now restricted in how they issue injunctions. They can often only block an order in their specific district. Think about that. We could end up with 16 different sets of rules governing college sports across the country simultaneously. Unless the Supreme Court grants this emergency status, which they rarely do, it could take 5 years to settle. That wouldn't just be the Wild West we have now, it would be total chaos. It would make today's nil mess look like a Sunday picnic. We need a permanent, legislative fix, or we might just break the system for good.
Yeah. Oh man, there was a lot in that. You're so smart, Vader. Okay.
I'm going to vote for Vader for president.
DK, are you frozen in time? Or are you still with us?
Can you hear me?
I can hear DK.
Oh, you got me?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Eric,
I
you
don't
got
hear
me?
him.
Yes.
Oh,
Vader hears him too.
see,
So
it's your fault, Eric.
Eric's the problem. Yep.
So anyway,
That's lovely. What is going on tonight? All right. I will exit stage left and come back in. So that being said, DK,
right.
I'll let you go ahead and respond, and then I will. Oh, I hear you now.
Oh, now we're good?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to host the show. Anyway,
go ahead.
I want to start off by saying I would vote for Buck Vader for president if he ran. 110%. Guy's way smarter than I am. I don't know anything about politics, but what I do know,
yeah, but that's not a low bar, DK. No,
listen, politics don't solve anything. Literally anything. They don't. There's nothing they've solved.
I'm just saying. You said he was a lot smarter than you. I mean, yeah, he is very smart, but
I mean, yeah, I'm not. I'm not here to bring the brightness. I'm the funny guy. I'm the personality hire. I'm the director of morale. Anyway. Yeah, I agree with everything Buck Vader said there. Very well said. Politics don't fix anything, and there's too much red tape, too much scarlet tape. See what I did there? No, I agree. Politics
here all of a sudden.
Politics ain't gonna fix nothing. Buck Vader for president.
What do you think, DK, about the following question though? Did this push the ball down the field towards fixing college football's problems at all? Did it do anything?
No, it didn't do a thing. All it was a bunch of big heads talking into microphones so they could hear themselves talk for a little bit. That's all it was. At the end of the day, I don't know. I don't think it did at all. I don't think it moved anything. I'd be interested to see the percentage of college football fans that even watched it. I wouldn't have watched it if I didn't have to talk about it. It's just, truth be told. But no, I don't think it's moved the needle towards any resolution towards the chaos that is college athletics right now.
Corey.
Ditto.
A famous Vader, yes. No, I'm with you guys. I don't think it did anything.
Chris has a good point.
You're right. Oh, it's wild. Ugh. Jeez, look at his username. What wilds-bv2mi? What did he?
A politician came up with that.
I would. The last person I would vote for, if anything, was Wilds. Thanks.
Question number 3. If you were given the opportunity to speak to Congress about college football, what would you say? Now, this one I expect it to be very interesting. I expect you guys to actually have answers for this one. Vader, as always, you get to go first. What would you tell the College Football Summit, the Congress, about college football if you had their ear?
Before we sign off today, I want to pull back the curtain on this Save College Sports Summit everyone is buzzing about. Look, we all want the game to thrive, but let's be real, this summit is a house of cards. First off, how do you have a summit about the future of the sport and leave out the very people who are the sport? The players weren't there. What? Because they don't have a seat at the table yet. Until the athletes form a legitimate governing body, a union or a players' association, any solution cooked up by suits in a conference room is premature and half-baked. Second, for those of you begging for the government to step in, be careful what you wish for. Name one private sector industry where government intervention actually improved quality while lowering costs. Healthcare, education, food production. The track record is a disaster of exploding costs and dwindling access. As Reagan famously said, the scariest words in the English language are, "I'm from the government, and I'm here to help." Trust me, I've worked in that world. Once they take over, they never let go, and they certainly don't care about the traditions of Saturday afternoons like we do. And let's look at the source. This movement is funded by Cody Campbell, a Texas tech billionaire who's currently bending every rule in the book to benefit his own program. This isn't about saving the sport, it's about a power grab for Lubbock. But you know me, I don't just point out the fire, I bring the extinguisher. Here is the Buck Vader blueprint to actually fix this. Ditch the NCAA, we need a new governing body comprised of the Power Four and Notre Dame. Period. The Mega League pool, revenue stays within the programs actually generating it. No more small-time schools getting rich off the backs of the giants. Uniformity, every team in this league agrees to support the same non-revenue sports to ensure financial parity. A real calendar, the ads and the players union negotiate a transfer portal and recruiting calendar that actually makes sense for the human beings involved. The commissioner, a single authority, chosen by both the ads and the players association, to enforce rules and hand out punishments in real time, not 5 years after the fact. It's a basic outline, sure, but it's a hell of a lot better than inviting the feds into our end zones. We need to fix this ourselves before someone who doesn't know a flea flicker from a field goal does it for us.
Interesting. Thank you.
Go off, Buck Vader. Hell yeah.
Yeah. DK, Donald Trump and the rest of Congress say we would like to know your opinion on this matter. What are you telling them?
Listen, what Buck Vader just said was incredibly knowledgeable and amazing, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And I'm going to follow it up with, I'd rather record 100 farts and play that into a microphone than talk to those people. I would have, my mom always said, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So I would just record a plentiful amount of farts and gas being passed and play that into a microphone, because that's all I hear when those people in suits speak words is just a bunch of poop. I don't
You were a gas man for a long time.
I was, and
but you are a professional gas man.
I was the real life Hank Hill for a little bit, and now I get bullied by 9-year-olds. But no, I got no. One, they would never invite me to such a thing. Two, I just would fart into a microphone for half an hour and make those people listen to it.
Oh,
see, I told you I was going to take Buck Vader's very knowledgeable and intelligent, and I just came with farts.
Yeah, 100 of them apparently recorded in a microphone. Gory.
I know he's not in Congress, but I do recall a certain VP candidate saying, "Oh, she runs a mean pick six." Like, I want these kinds of people deciding what happens with college football. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my life. And watching football for 30 years, I've never heard that phrase. And it was just, what Vader said was all extremely intelligent. I agree. My only problem is it'd be wasted on those buffoons sitting in the hearings. It's just everybody in the country who's listening, who cares about the topic, would listen to Vader and say, absolutely right on. But the idiot suits who are only good at siphoning money off of people, that's all they're good at, would listen to it one ear out the other, and they would come up with some BS rule that some page wrote anyway. Why waste your time on them? Would be my thing. They're going to do what they're going to do. They don't listen to people. They don't care about people. They don't care about something. Life is so freaking hard right now, in part because of what they do, that college football Saturdays are just sacred. We need that. All of us, I'm talking all of us here, the blue collar, hardworking American people, Purdue fans to Ohio State fans to everywhere, need Saturdays and sometimes Thursdays and whatever day they play on. But we need those days to just relax, forget our problems, forget the hard work that we go through, forget what bills we have to pay, and just watch some freaking football. And the game is being destroyed before our very eyes, all in the name of greed. All in the name of for the love of money. as Eric, 2 weeks ago corrected. I don't know who it was. I think but you corrected somebody on that. I think it was Bart, maybe. Which is believable because Bart always needs correcting. But still, um, and then of course we go from one aspect of greed, the love of money, to the other aspect of greed, the love of money in Congress, and expect them to fix the problem. Absolutely not. I have no breath to waste on them. I would rather talk to you guys and the crowd here and Vader and everybody. I'd rather talk to everybody here than talk to those idiots.
Listen, Corey. Okay. It's clear you are an idiot. No.
He would say that, yeah.
It's too bad Alex isn't here. He's in the chat. He would have had
does
a
a good
great.
one.
He does a good Trump.
I can do the hands, but that's
Yeah,
you know,
and he said in his Trump voice, "I will make college football bigger than ever before. So big, so huge. Quite frankly, it will be so successful that it will be the greatest thing to happen in history."
my hands are a little.
I can't do Trump either. I have the best football team. Believe me, I can't do it.
There it is.
What I would say to. Okay, in order to make things as. This is kind of a setup, but I would have Congress define for me amateurism. I don't think they could do it.
I guarantee they couldn't do it.
They're all 100 years old. What?
They can't define anything.
What?
They can't define what a woman is anymore. What are you talking about?
Hey! Welcome to Political AM Radio. Apparently tonight, there we go.
You opened this up and then put me on the show.
Welcome to OHIO NPR.
Yeah. No, because I don't think they could define for us amateurism. And that's the problem here is you have people at this summit who were a part of amateurism trying to put the genie back into the bottle that is college football now that they cannot do. You can't do it. It's never going to fit back into the bottle because amateurism has been destroyed. It's not only been destroyed on collegiately, it's been destroyed on high schools. Right now, a kid in high school can get NIL in Ohio. And we are not the only state that's doing that. That's crazy. That's insane. But the OHIO podcast can literally pay NIL to a high school kid and have him come on the show and promote us, and we would pay him, and it is 100% legal. There's nothing the OHSAA can do about it.
Am I getting paid NIL to be here?
You are getting nothing to be here other than to get to look at my beautiful face.
That's worth it. By the way, I can
way too much flirting going on. I'm just not comfortable with this.
Hey, listen, mind your business down there. Okay.
I'm just saying.
The bottom left corner's over there. It's too MAGA. The top up here is progressive. Okay.
Down there, big dog.
I actually agree with Don McClure on this one 100%.
Yes, exactly. We're not trying to be political, but here's the thing: they tried to make college football political last week, and every one of us tonight are saying, "Dude, don't do this.
Get out of here.
Don't do this." And I love your response, Corey, because you're right. We need Saturdays, dude. I think that was the best response so far. I need Saturdays. I need college
fun
football.
For you guys. Yeah.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Saturdays are so much fun for Ohio State fans.
Hey, it was fun for you guys when you guys beat us on that Saturday night all them years ago.
Ooh.
Speaking of which, right? Rest in peace, right?
Well, here's 2009 as I hit my microphone. Purdue 26, number 7, Ohio State 18. Because we can only live in the past. So that's anyway. Yeah, rest in peace, Rondale Moore.
Yeah, Rondale Moore.
That legitimately, sincerely, rest in peace. That's awful.
That messed me up 7 different ways to Sunday, man. Like a talented kid who, suffered a couple knee injuries and couldn't, get back at it, man. It's just, I hate to turn it to a sad point, but
I'd rather talk about Rondale Moore than talk about Congress. I'm being sincere about
Yeah.
that.
Jay out here making rumors up. All right, let's do this. Let's move on to our second topic. A little less political, a little more college football.
I'll see how I can politicize this.
Although, stop. We got people saying, please stop. I will say this, though. Over on YouTube right now, we did a quick poll. Was the college football summit a good thing or not? 70% said no.
Amen. You guys are on it.
What a smart bunch.
You 30%. What is wrong with you?
So there you go. All right, here we go. Who is on a hot seat in 2026 in
Donald
the
Trump.
Big Ten? Which college football coaches are on a hot seat?
Oh, we're doing coaches.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought we were talking about congressional turnover.
No. Big Ten college football coaches. Who could possibly be on a hot seat? I think there's an obvious answer. And then I think there's maybe a not so obvious answer. But we'll start with Vader first tonight. I think this might be. He might have this answer. He might not, because he said he had to exit stage left early tonight. Vader, do you have an answer for who might be on the hot seat tonight?
Yes.
Give it to me, brother. You're up.
All right, Buckeyes fans, let's take a look around the rest of the neighborhood. We talk a lot about the standard here in Columbus, but the pressure is reaching a breaking point for some of our rivals. We've got three big names in the Big Ten whose seats aren't just warm, they are absolutely scorching as we look toward the 2026 season. One, Mike Locksley, Maryland. Temperature, very hot. The what? First up, let's look at Mike Locksley over in College Park, Maryland is coming off a brutal 4-8 campaign, and the vibes are not good. We're seeing a massive exodus through the transfer portal, which usually tells you everything you need to know about the locker room. Locksley has done a decent job keeping them relevant, but they've hit a hard ceiling as a middle-tier program. In this new, expanded Big Ten, decent doesn't get you a contract extension anymore. The 2026 mandate. For Locksley to survive, 2026 has to be a show-me year. He has to hit at least 6 wins and get back to a bowl game. But more importantly for us watching from the outside, can they actually compete with the big dogs? If they keep getting blown out by the top of the conference, Maryland might decide it's time for a fresh start. To Luke Fickell, Wisconsin. Temperature, very hot. The what? Now, this one hits close to home for Buckeye fans. Luke Fickell. When he left for Madison, people thought he'd have the Badgers mirroring Ohio State's toughness in no time. Instead, it's been a disaster. 9-15 over the last 2 seasons. That is a far cry from the Barry Alvarez or Brett Bielema eras. Fickell is currently overhauling that roster through the portal with a level of aggression that screams desperation. The Dairy Raid offense hasn't exactly petrified Big Ten secondaries yet. The 2026 mandate. The grace period is over in Madison. Fickell has to get that win total back up to 8 or more. Wisconsin fans expect to be in that upper tier conversation, and right now, they're closer to the basement than the penthouse. If 2026 is another losing season, I need help.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Vader. DK, how long of a leash does Barry Odom have in Purdue?
It's hard to tell. I've tried to gauge it. It seems like Babinski's, on his side on a few things. He's shown his support, just like Wisconsin's AD Chris McIntosh has shown to Fickell. But it's hard telling. He's put together a solid class this year, but I've come quickly to learn when you look at Walters that recruiting, you can get all the stars you can, but when it comes to on the field, it's a whole different ball game. And so I've learned not to get too excited about when Purdue or lands a recruit. I mean, hell, you can see it at our basketball team too. Now, granted, basketball is still light years ahead of football. But you know, a 9 loss season for basketball for us is like, what is going on? And we've gotten great recruits or great transfer portal guys. But anyway, um, you know, we've got some JUCO guys, and Tavari Hampton, I believe is how you say his last name, running back from northeastern Oklahoma A&M, which I believe is no, it's a NJCAA. So I think, you know, he's got a running back from Texas and Jarrett Gibson, and a few others, and one 4-star recruit out of high school that's coming in as a vehicle just goes by my house at blazing speeds. Uh, it's tough. It's going to be interesting. In my opinion, if he has another 1 or 2 win season, he's got to go. But you know, if it's 3, 4, 5, uh, it's hard telling. I don't know where the temperature of Odom's seat is right now. I mean, it's definitely not cool, but I don't think it's necessarily scorching hot. Um, I just Purdue football's in a weird spot right now where not only are we really bad, but our rivals are winning national championships, which is just still blows my mind. What IU's done and what Signetti's done down there or up there. Um, so I would hope, you know, and I've told my Purdue friends this, that if anything comes out of IU winning a football national championship, that it lights a fire under the Purdue athletics and when it comes to football. You know, obviously, historically, we're a basketball school, but football nowadays, you can do a lot of great things with the money you can make from football, and we have not taken advantage of that. And you look at off the field, you know, renovations to Ross Aid, a lot of investment that way. You know, 45 million to improve the south end zone. You know, we have great facilities. The facilities are there. You know, and I don't just say that as a homer, but genuinely, we have some solid facilities. Are they up to the Oregons, the Ohio States? Probably not, but like they're not terrible. They're very, very nice, and that way we've invested a lot into the program. But our big thing is we really don't have a Mark Cuban. We don't have. I mean, Drew Brees can only give so many monies. Like, like Drew can only write so many checks. Uh, you know, and the guy, you know, the guys from like formerly known as BXP, we've talked about like who are the billionaire Purdue donors, and shockingly, I mean we have some, but they're not the type to invest in athletics, which understandable, whatever. But we don't have that edge when it comes to investing in NIL, which sucks. So you know, the really, and you look at the way Paint has recruited, he's like, listen, you're going to come to Purdue, you're going to win. If you invest into Paint and this program, NIL aside, you know, he's turned away guys that have come into his office and said, I want X amount of dollars. And he goes, well, you're not here for the right reasons. So, all right, see you later. And that's harder to do in football, possibly. But it's I'd be interested to hear Odom's pitch when it comes to recruiting and portal. What is he saying to guys to convince them to come to Purdue, especially when you got your neighbors who are doing what they're doing? Um, it sucks and it's disheartening. As you know, this is the first year in my entire life I won't be having Purdue football season tickets.
Oh,
Yeah.
breaking news.
Yeah, I really haven't told a lot of people that, but I decided the money wasn't worth it. The 3-hour trips on Saturday, and I love Purdue, and you don't get much more dedicated Purdue than me.
No, you don't.
And so for me to
Can
do
Trump
that,
fix this? No. Okay.
no, for me to cancel my season tickets was hard. I mean, that's got connections back to my dad,
Right.
and all of that. But I decided that money could be used uh, elsewhere in my life, and you know it sucks, and I hated doing it, but it just back to back years. You know, I sat through 4 wins and or 9 wins and what was it, 4 years? I don't know, the Hazel era where it sucked. I sat through every game of that in empty stadiums, and then we had the Brom year, which was awesome. the Hope year, which was decent. A lot of times where I got to rush the field with wins against you guys in Michigan States and so on and so forth. Um, and then we had these last 2 years where 4 wins in 2 years, and I'm like, man, I don't got it in me anymore. Like I can't be driving 3 to 6 hours, all together every Saturday and spending my weekend doing that just to go watch crappy football. And that broke my heart in a lot of ways, and I hated doing it. But I was a financial decision for me. On top of I nowadays you got to spend your money wisely, and to me that just wasn't wise. And who knows? I may go back, and I probably will. There's going to be times in life where I want to go back, but yeah, no, that was a hard decision for me. And I love Purdue and I love Purdue football. But right now it's disappointing and it's a real bummer. And I could hear my dad, as much as I hate to cancel him, I could hear him like, "Don't quit wasting the money. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is bad product. Like, why are you investing in it?" So I made the decision, and I'll still go to games this year. I'm sure I'll go to one or two off the secondhand ticket market, and it's not like I'm completely boycotting Purdue football. That'd be silly, because I'm behind any coach at Purdue if they're willing to put in the work to make the program better. And I believe Barry Odom has every uh, goodwill to make it happen, and I hope he does because he's a really good guy. What I like about him a lot is you don't see him. Walters, he was on socials a lot, talking a lot of smack, but he can never back it up. What I like about Walters, or what I like about Odom rather, is he's kind of a nose to the grindstone guy. You don't hear a lot from him, and he kind of just lets his work do the talking. And I hope we have a good season. And what does a good season look like? Hell, I don't know. 6 wins would be I throw a parade. Like I that's where how low we are right now. And like I've said, it's extra disappointing, and it makes it extra hard when Indiana wins a national champion. I like, and it's to the point now where I respect it, and I respect Signetti, and I'm like, you know what, man, good for him. Like I still haven't like really registered that Indiana won a football national championship, and we really don't have any leg to talk smack on. And it's like when the student section at football games yells IU sucks. Shut up. No, they don't. Like, okay, if you want to say that basketball, sure, but don't say that at football games. And I've gotten a lot of flack for that. Like, oh, it's still funny. It's a rivalry. It ain't a rivalry right now. IU's kicking our butts, beating us by 50 or 60 points every year. We can't even get a touchdown on our rival. So no, we don't need to be yelling IU sucks, because they don't. They're the top of the market right now. But I don't know. I root for Odom. I root for whoever is the head coach of Purdue football. But right now, I'm going to go to a couple games this year. Uh, but we'll see. That was a long tangent, but it's been a long time since I've talked into a microphone about my disappointments.
Um, no, I hear you, DK. I just quickly did a quick search and looked back at Purdue football through the years. Jeff Brom, 2022, last time you guys won 6 games or more, went to a bowl game. Jeff Brom in 6 years at Purdue went to 4 different bowl games. And then before that, Danny Hope from 2009 to 2012.
Yep.
He was a 500-ish kind of.
Great guy. Genuinely, every friend I have that played for Danny Hope. I mean, Tiller picked Danny Hope. He was handpicked by Coach Tiller.
Yeah.
Loved Danny. Like, Danny's one of the best dudes in the world. He just couldn't.
But that's the gold standard, dude. Joe Tiller was your Kurt Signetti.
Yeah.
In a different era.
In a much different era.
He took Purdue to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bowl games in 12 years.
Yeah. Unheard of now.
That's your gold standard for Purdue. So it's not like Purdue's never done it. I mean, you just mentioned it. Drew Brees, baby.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this year goes for year number 2. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but let's get back to coaches on a hot seat. Corey, I think there's 2 names in particular in the Big Ten whose seats are to the point where they might not make it through the season. Coach Locke in Maryland, Coach Fick in Madison, Wisconsin. Agree?
Yeah, but I made a list. So
You did homework?
Go off, Corey.
I'm in awe. Let's hear the list.
and I used heat phrases to describe
Ooh.
how hot their seat is because I didn't want to just say they're on the hot seat. It's not fun. So
Okay.
Florida roof in July is Mike Loxley at Maryland.
Damn.
Wow, that's hot.
Oh,
Trust me, I know. The asphalt parking lot in Phoenix is Luke Fickle.
ooh, ooh.
Let's just say a warm car interior, Matt Rule in Nebraska.
With black interior.
There it is. Okay.
A black car hood in August is, I think, Lincoln Riley at USC, which is pretty hot because I think he's been a disappointment, and I think they feel the same way. If he misses the playoffs again, especially in 12-team playoff, I think a warm park bench is actually Brett Bielema, Illinois.
Well, that's
Big
that
bird.
park. If you're comparing Brett Bielema to a park bench, we can go a lot of different directions there.
Well,
Al.
I didn't say why it was warm. It's warm because he's sitting on it. A hot sidewalk walking barefoot on it. To me, is Greg Schiano, Rutgers.
Mm,
Everybody else is in an air-conditioned office.
nice.
Even Barry. Nice.
I think Barry is for now. If he has a bad season, that thing warms up quickly. The thermostat will go out.
Yeah.
You brought up Matt Rule. That was one of my so what I think Nebraska could be the Purdue the Penn State of last year. Let me explain. Things don't start off well. The fan base gets loud. Nebraska fans are great people. They are. If you've ever went to a Nebraska game, those fans are actually genuinely nice people. I've met very few Nebraska fans that I was like, what a jerk. They are great people, but they, I think, have reached a point where it's like year 3 was supposed to be the year, and it was basically year 2, rinse and repeat, other than the fact that
And now they lost their quarterback.
Raiola got injured, and then he left and decided to go be the backup quarterback at Oregon. And I think a lot of people are kind of grown cold on Rule. If you go to their message boards and things, he had a terrible recruiting class. People have lost faith in Matt Rule. That could be the first Big Ten coach fired this year. Because I could see Nebraska saying, this is not going well. We're going to Penn State this thing. We're going to get out ahead of this before anybody else. And just like when Penn State fired James Franklin, it sent the whole coaching carousel started in like week 6 immediately, and it was like, what is happening?
Eric, I think that's why the warm car interior metaphor works here, because it doesn't start off so bad, but it heats up quick and it becomes fatal.
And if you leave your dog or small child in there, you're going to get arrested.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hence, if they leave Matt Rule there all season long, somebody's getting arrested.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I pulled into a Target last weekend, and there was a kid asleep by himself in the car, and I had to call the cops on the guy. He got arrested.
Good on you,
Yeah.
though.
Called the popo. That just reminded me. So don't do that.
Crazy other name. It was mentioned in the comment section. I don't think this person gets fired, but I think this person at the end of the season could be said, it's time to retire.
Ryan Day's not. I'm just kidding.
Kirk Ferentz.
Yeah, Kirk Ferentz for sure.
He's 70 years old. I mean, he looks good for 70.
The last 10 years have been hard on that man.
I'll be lucky to see 70.
And he's got to be very disappointed in his son. So
Yeah. I
I'll let you call
Iowa
plays for me.
I broke down Iowa's schedule for them. They better make hay at the beginning of their schedule. They play 3 non-con games that they should win, including Iowa State this year, because Iowa State's got a whole new coaching staff.
And a whole new team.
But then games 4 through 6. Are you ready for this? Ohio State, Michigan, at Washington. Boom, boom, boom. Back to back to back.
That's 2 wins.
No way. No way. You think they're going to beat Michigan?
I think they're going to beat Ohio State. I'm just kidding.
Boy, you've had some hot takes tonight.
I'm trying to be hated enough to be
that
kicked off the
comment would
show.
have worked really good when he was done with his hot seats comments. Those were some hot takes.
Spicy.
What about this one scenario for you? Matt Campbell and Penn State go 6-6 year number 1.
He ain't getting fired. They're already paying Franklin.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that fan base.
Yeah, they'll be mad.
Woo!
It'll be fun to watch from afar, but they're not. He's not leaving. And after year 1,
Mark my words, I will throw a parade if Purdue goes 6-6. I will they deserve rings.
Can I come to your parade?
Yeah, more than welcome.
Thank you. Can I wear a Buckeye jersey to your parade?
I mean, who knows? We have no rivalries anymore. You could walk in an IU jersey and be like, "Hey, how are you?"
Is there any other name? I know we mentioned Lincoln Riley. If he doesn't make it, yeah. What do you got, DK?
Can I do my wild man impersonation?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I think Ryan Day should be on the hot seat because I don't like him. I don't like him. He does bad. He won a national championship. How dare he? Okay, and scene.
I was going to say, how bad does Ohio State have to do this year for Ohio State fans to turn on Ryan Day?
Hey, bring Ryan Day
2
down
losses.
to Purdue. Bring him down. I'll take him. I'll take your sloppy seconds. I don't care.
Well, you do know Purdue is the only Big Ten team who's offered his son at quarterback, right?
Is he good?
Yeah, he's the number 1 quarterback in the state.
Ain't no way he's coming here then.
It's their way of trying to lure Ryan Day.
We got Ryan Brown.
How about Barry
Everything's fine.
Odom's like, listen, guys, I have a plan for you. We're gonna go out and we're gonna get RJ Day, and then we're gonna tell his dad he can come and call plays here.
Ryan Day can come here and do whatever the hell he wants. We'll name the Ryan Day Stadium Ross A. Day Stadium.
Because he hadn't even set foot on the field yet. We already got a statue up.
Buddy, a statue, rename the stadium. I'll buy my tickets again. Like you come here and win 10 games, buddy boy. we'll I don't even know. We'll love you.
Alex says 10-2 would piss us off. 9-3 will destroy us.
You spoiled. God, 10-2 and we're going, but I don't even know what to do.
It wouldn't be a parade; it'd be a kegger.
Buddy, I don't even drink much anymore, but I would.
We wouldn't see DK for like a month.
Well, I'll say this much: as we start to dive into the season, we start to look at the other teams. This season is going to be wild in the Big Ten because, and we didn't even get into Whittingham in year number 1 at the age of 66 up in Ann Arbor. What if he falls on his face in year number 1? What if that team is 8-4 or 7-5? The way that fan base reacts too. That would be interesting as well.
You could say at least he's not cheating or holding up women with butter knives, so it's an upgrade no matter what.
Of all the things, you pick a butter knife. What do we?
You know what?
He went fully committed to the whole life-threatening situation.
I think this.
He wasn't committed to a lot of things.
That's very true, like his own family.
Yeah.
Maybe we need a congressional hearing about that.
You know what? I think this is a good time to let Buck Vader go. It's 9:00. I know he's got to go. We're going to play a quick commercial. This is a great segue for this commercial, and then we'll be right back. We're going to talk Purdue football in the third segment.
Oh, good.
He slices, he dices, he's even good for holding your side chick hostage. It's the new Grinsing Butter Knife, only from the OHIO podcast.
I used to butter my bread with just a regular old butter knife. But now that I have the OHIO podcast butter knife, I butter everything with it.
Go from being a hostage to a happy homewrecker and order your Grinsing Butter Knife from the OHIO podcast today.
Results may vary. No side chicks were injured in production. Call 1-800-SCUM-SUCKS and get your OHIO podcast butter knife right now.
You put on commercials like that and you worry about my takes.
Watching your reaction was the best part.
I thought we were seeing a legitimate ad.
Oh, it's legitimate.
I mean, I'm sure. And then that wow. I don't like that was the best.
You know what? I accidentally teed it up too. I'm actually.
That's why I went to it. I was like, thank you.
Is there an Emmy category for the best podcast commercial? Because that needs to be one. That was incredible. That was
thank
awesome.
you.
Good for you.
Thank you.
You are a master class of this podcast. That's why you're the podfather.
It's why I'm something. I don't know what I am.
Now you need to actually go out and engrave a butter knife with the OHIO podcast logo.
Oh yeah, you can buy them. They're only $5,000.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have 2 of them.
That was amazing.
My spending habits have been questioned.
Yeah, that's a tough charge.
Yeah.
Oh,
But worth it.
that
They
made my
butter my
day.
toast really well.
That was the best thing I've ever seen.
You're welcome.
Better than Purdue football?
Mean Green, what the heck did we just see?
That was awesome.
By the
Shout
way,
out.
Hey, DK, who do you think was the Asian accent on that video?
I was trying to figure that out. And I thought it was
You're
wild
looking at him
for a minute. but-
Boggsy there. He pulled a Mickey Rourke from Breakfast at Tiffany's. Just
A man of many different voices. I mean that.
He slices. He dices.
At first, like when it just shows the dicing, I'm like, where is this going? Because it didn't click in my head right away. And then I saw Sharon Moore holding a blonde woman hostage, and I was like, oh, that's where this is going. All right.
Oh, it takes a nosedive right immediately. Yeah.
I see the budget here at the OHIO podcast has quadrupled since I last been on, and I'm happy.
It's $4 now. Yes.
Yet I can't get a damn dime, but
Shane. Oh, gosh.
Boggsy.
Gosh. Mean Green, don't quit your day job.
He did.
Unfortunately, this is my day job. That's why I got to go find another one.
Funny enough, he did. He said, all right.
Asian accents are my thing now.
That turned
beautiful.
Scottish for some reason.
You went from
Happy Homewrecker.
You went to what's his name from The Simpsons real quick.
No, it was the fat
Willie.
guy in Fat B from from
Powers, yeah.
Get
Big
in my
fella.
belly.
He did make a Chinese joke too. I have more
I
chins
just-
than a Chinese phone book.
I just imagine Lady Boggs coming home and just hearing you like, oh, that's just Eric. He's just doing his thing.
When I showed her that commercial, I think she was embarrassed and proud of me all at the same time.
Who did the female voice, by the way? Was that
AI.
Disney? Oh, okay.
That's
You couldn't
that's
get Lady Boggs in on the bit?
No, she's like, no way.
She
No.
goes, I'm above this.
I'm not above marrying it, but I'm above. doing it.
Little did she know.
She looks at me and she does a lot of praying. Let's just put it
She is a
that
saint.
way.
She is
Yes.
a saint.
Oh my gosh. Don says, DK, you are more than welcome to be on the OHIO podcast. Don't be a stranger. So Don is apparently taking over the podcast and telling people.
Hey,
who's
appreciate
gonna
you,
be
Don.
on.
Hey, Don, can I get $1 thrown my way? Huh?
Yeah. No, DK's been on a bunch, guys. DK might be our number one guest. Like, as far as the number of times he's been on. So
Groundskeeper Willie, thank you, Mika.
There it is. No, now I'm a podcast free agent. I mean, I know Eric, we have some things in the works.
we do.
But so I'm not really that much of a free agent. I just, I'm doing things. You never
Yeah.
know.
You can do Purdue Buckeye Huddle. Is that what that's going?
No one wants to talk about Purdue.
Well, we're about to.
Well,
so-
we're about to. So
Shoot. What a great segue that was from me. Nobody wants to talk about them.
Purdue football. It slices. It dices. We need to do a Purdue football commercial, buddy. What could we do?
It slices. It does.
I'll just send you a clip of me farting again, and that's
Just send your congressional speech. And
yeah.
hammer down.
Purdue football.
All right, guys, let's dive into this, man. Earlier on you gave a very it touched my soul, Dylan. Your love, but I know more about you than most people do.
everybody wants to know.
How does someone who lives in Ohio, surrounded by Ohio State fans everywhere, grow up being a Purdue fan? That's because of his dad, and I can respect that. Because why am I a Buckeye fan? Other than the fact that I live here, is because of my father. Sometimes we just take upon the fandoms of our fathers, which is I can respect. Why am I a glutton for punishment as a Bengals fan and Reds fan? You can thank my daddy for that one, right?
I just became a Reds fan, Eric.
Why?
What do you mean you just became a Reds fan?
I was a Tigers fan, but I have several friends, including the people I live with, who are Cincinnati Reds fans. I was a fair weather baseball guy, so I figured, why not? I'll be a Reds fan.
So you live so close to freaking Detroit now. You can actually just go to the games.
Yeah, but I live with somebody who's a Reds fan. So
okay, so you're gonna be watching all the Reds games with him.
We're gonna go to a few Reds games. Yeah.
Cool.
Ooh, we should do an OHIO podcast summons.
Summit. It's a summit.
Summit.
We'll invite Donald Trump.
Only if Asian Eric shows up.
I'm there. What would you do if I showed up in one of those
sumo suits?
Yeah, like a sumo.
You have to do the Mickey Rooney and just get the teeth and the eyebrows and everything. Just go full racist on it.
And there goes the OHIO podcast.
Yeah.
Eric's like, I'm not answering that.
No comment.
the DK, this is from Vader. He exited stage left, but he's still watching over. He says, DK, don't feel bad. I don't get paid either, and I spend more time on it than my pay job.
Buck Vader, I love you. He's the man.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I should let everybody know who he works for, because it's pretty big deal. But
Buddy is pretty smart, so I'd imagine it's pretty good.
He's definitely not working for Congress. That's all I know.
Mean Green says, Eric, you can always stop being a Reds and Bengals fan. Here's the deal. Mika and I are both Bengals fans, and Mika and I have publicly announced, Mika will back me up, if Caleb Downs is sitting there at number 10 in the NFL draft and the Bengals pass on him, we quit. We are free agent fans. If the Bengals pass on Caleb Downs, we're done. We're done.
What if he's not there to take?
Then obviously we're not done. It's like, okay, you couldn't draft him.
You didn't trade up for him. I'm done.
No, I'm not going to do that. But if he's sitting there at 10 and they're like, yeah, no thanks, I'm going to be like, you guys you can't. They'll never be good. Never.
I mean, Mike Brown's going to sit there and be like, well, looks too expensive. Let's not do that.
Even though the prices are predetermined for you in the draft at this point. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about Purdue. What are the expectations this year for year number 2 for Barry Odom, DK?
Hell, I don't know.
What about you personally?
Personally, it's, if I look at like Purdue Twitter, which is how I base things most of the time, people don't expect much from this season. They don't think Odom. I think that the majority think that Odom isn't going to be able to get it done. I'm never one to judge a guy who takes over a program such as Purdue in 1 year. Or, has he been here 1 year, 2 years? Anyway, it's hard telling. I still give him a chance. I think Barry's a good guy. I think, what he did at UNLV holds some weight. Taking over a program that Walters left wasn't great, and I give him a little bit of a longer leash than I think most Purdue fans do. For me, though, it's you just gotta have momentum. I mean, with a program that has had no momentum whatsoever. I mean, 2-win season, and we're still selling games out, and I'll be interested to see how the crowds look this year. But I think the people want Purdue to succeed, but it's nowadays with the portal and you don't know who's coming and going. It's really hard to tell, and so we'll see. And I hope every year I've come up with the 6 wins in a Cheez-It bowl or a pizza bowl or a hell I don't even know
Pop Tart Bowl. Come on.
the Bad Boys Gasparilla Boca Raton Bowl, whatever. I want something. I just want a little bit of something. I want to beat other teams other than Indiana State, and by God, I want to beat those Hoosiers. I want to beat them bad, as I've wanted to every year, but especially now. Um, I look at my wall here, and I got Rose Bowl memorabilia and newspapers, and it sucks that IU just won a Rose Bowl, and here we are. I mean, rightfully so, but celebrating playing in a Rose Bowl 25 years ago, as we just did this year. The Purdue program as a whole has been meh. I mean, you have the Tiller years, and that's the ceiling. And I'm lucky to have grown up during that time. But Odom's he's kind of playing with house money, just in the fact that there's not a whole lot not very big shoes to fill. But I'm hoping he sets the standard, and I'm hoping he brings some of that Tiller energy. And he kind of reminds me of Tiller in that way of not really talking a whole lot, just letting the play on the field, the basketball and grass do it. I talked to friends of mine like Stu Schweiger, Purdue Hall of Famer. Rose or playing the Rose Bowl, was a Tiller guy, a recruit from Tiller, who brought him to Purdue from Michigan. And he's the same way. He's like, I see a little bit of Tiller and Barry. We're not going to say he's just like Tiller because there probably will never be another Coach Tiller. But we hope that he has the momentum and he brings the oomph, something. There's got to be some sort of momentum coming into this year. Personally, I don't feel it. I'm going to be honest with you. And I've always been a positive Purdue fan. I've always tried to see the positive through it all. But it's tough right now, man. And I don't see how Purdue could succeed in the way college football is right now. The way IU has done is they've got Mark Cuban, and Mark Cuban cut him a few checks. And I'm not saying that's the only reason IU did what they did. Cignetti's a hell of a coach, and he can grab guys and turn them into, Heisman winning, national championship winning quarterbacks. So it's not just because Cuban, but they also have one hell of a coach. So but like I said earlier, if IU can do it, why the hell can't Purdue? Why can't the Northwesterns? Why can't the Minnesotas? Like, it's before IU, it was, would we ever do it? Has anyone that will ever do it? Such as our program, and IU did that. And they're the poster child of taking a crappy program to the top. So it can be done. Is Odom the guy? I hope he is. Do I know he is? I don't know if he is or not, but I sure as heck hope he is, because it's miserable over here.
Ken Taco Hut, one of our regulars. Good to see you, buddy. DK, how much are Purdue season tickets?
Last year for 2 tickets, I paid, I think it was like $8.50. So not like in the grand scheme of Big Ten tickets, probably not that bad, but too much to be paying to watch crappy 2 in football.
Yeah. I won't tell you how much Ohio State season.
I don't even want to. I know when my aunt, who was a Ohio State alumni, I think like a 40, 50-year season ticket holder, the week she passed away, the ticket office called, I think it was my aunt or maybe it was my dad, and they're like, hey, if you don't want the tickets, we're going to put them back in the pool. Like, she's like, hey, she's dead. We're going to put these back. Like, it's crazy what you guys do to get into a football game.
Yeah, it's expensive to say the least. Corey, you got a question before I go to the schedule for Purdue?
I don't have a question, but I do have and I'm being sincere. I know I'm not very rarely sincere on the show, but but DK, man, the fact that you're what you were saying earlier about it broke your heart to not do season tickets, because I know the connection you had with your dad and Purdue football is exactly what I had with my dad. I never got a chance to see a game in the shoe with him. We were scheduled for one. He went to the hospital. We had to eat the tickets, and then he passed on before we could do it. And trust me, it goes right to the heart, man. I totally understand what you're going through when you. I understand what you're going through when you had to not do it this year, because it's just too much at this point. They were disappointing you and your dad too much. And I say that knowing that your dad's watching, and he's not happy, and you shouldn't be happy, and you should demand a better product. You really, really, and sincerely should. So I'm totally with you on that heart to heart about your dad impacting your sports fanaticism.
I think, and I think I've showed Bogsy, but above my dad's name on his headstone, it says Boiler Up. And he surprised me with that. He said he was going to do it. And I'm like, there's no way his wife is going to let him do that. Like, there's no way that was. Sure enough, it did. And then before they buried him, the owner of the funeral home, who's a family friend, came over and she's like, "Have you seen your dad's tomb and what he did to it?" And I was like, "No, what did he do?" It was black, gold and black. I mean, he took his Purdue fandom to literal death. And it just means I love Purdue football, especially so much, being a kid that has grown up going to games since I can remember. I take it with heavy feelings, and when I'm not seeing the way Purdue football should be treated, and the way Purdue football, because I'm looking at it as Purdue football is just not getting a fair shake with, and I don't exactly know how, whether it be the athletic department or the coaches we've hired post Baram, but it's just tough. And at the end of the day, I love Purdue football, and I have so many friends that have played there, and I'm lucky to be friends with a lot of cool guys like Stu Schweigert, that are Purdue Hall of Famers, and they have the same sentiment that this isn't the Purdue football we know and love. We know what Purdue football can be. We know the support that the program has behind them fan wise, selling out 60,000 seats, even when we're barely cracked, not even near 500. I mean, the support is there. The momentum is there. It's just not being utilized. It doesn't have that push behind it that a lot of programs have. And then when you add Indiana doing what Indiana's doing, it puts salt in the wound. And it's like, man, like when your rivals that you hate so much are kicking your butt every year and winning title, like it's beyond. But at the end of the day, I love Purdue for Purdue. I love Purdue for the university. I don't have a degree there. My father did. Hell, I've put so much money towards tickets. I could probably have paid for a degree by this point. But I love Purdue for Purdue. I'm a Purdue fan, not because the results on the field, but the connection I have to the university itself. And so when it's not being up to its full potential, it is full-heartedly, and I mean that, full-heartedly disappointing.
All right, let's go through your schedule. Shane's got me baffled, man. Because Eric must not go fishing. I go fishing. I got fishing poles.
Huh.
Then he says, "Think about it, Eric. Have you been to zoo feeding the fish at the river?"
It's clear as mud.
I'll have what he's smoking.
Is he talking about my character that I was doing for the commercial?
No idea.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway,
I'm sorry. Please inform me. I'm not following. Purdue 2026 schedule. They open the season against Indiana State. That's a win. Better be a win.
God, let's hope.
Then they're home against Wake Forest.
Oof. That's the thing when you don't know, like Ryan Brown. That's all I got. That's all I know how he plays. Maccabee's gone, graduated. All these new. It's so hard keeping up with the recruiting. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know anything about Wake Forest either. Like, I don't follow ACC ball, so it's I don't know. That's a 50-50. We'll have to see after Purdue's how they play and how they look against Indiana State.
Yeah, that's a tough one, dude. That's a tough one. And then you got to go cross country. This is your cross country trip in week number 3 against UCLA.
Hey, I have a chance to watch Purdue play in the Rose Bowl.
I think that's winnable.
It is. You got the first year head coach out there.
Oh, that's
It
right.
was kind of riding Kurt Signetti's coattails at James Madison. Let's be honest. So we don't know what he can do on his own yet.
Yeah, interesting. And then
Did
you
you
come
even hear a
back.
word I said?
Yeah, you said it's doable.
No, I said something beyond that.
What?
Exactly.
What'd you say?
I don't remember now.
Okay, sure. And then you play for the. Is it the shillelagh?
The shillelagh.
Is that little wooden stick that the
Yeah.
leprechaun carries around?
Sure is.
So if you guys beat Notre Dame, you take the shillelagh from the leprechaun.
Yeah, but it's been. I don't even remember the last time we beat Notre Dame. I don't think in my lifetime I've
There's an
ever seen
actual
the shillelagh.
trophy for that game.
Yeah, I've never seen it because Notre
So-
Dame always wins.
Fun fact. Do you know which
Is
Big
it as
Ten
elite as the
team?
Elia Buck?
I would say it's more elite than the Illabuck.
Ooh.
Oh, stop it, Eric! Now you're smoking something. I don't want to hear it.
The Illabuck is the dumbest trophy in
Is
sports.
that the wooden turtle? Yeah.
The shillelagh would actually be cool because you're taking something that is a real prop from your opponent.
You twirl that thing around.
Yeah. DK can do interpretive dance at church the following Sunday with it.
Right. Can I, speaking of rivalry trophies, I got to go on, and I'll make this rant quick, I promise you. I had a friend text me a photo from the trophy room at the Purdue football facilities.
I know where you're going
And
with this.
in that trophy room, we have a spot for the Old Oaken Bucket, which is our rivalry trophy with Indiana. And in that bucket, I expected to see it empty because that's what it should be. In that case is a commercialized fake Old Oaken Bucket. I was so, I think, do I have it? I don't think I have it. I've moved so many things. I have one. I own one. It's a little Christmas tree, but they have the legit sized one. I was so mad. And I tweeted, I said, what are we doing? Having a fake rivalry trophy. Like, how sad is that? That is so pitiful. That is so just, ugh. That'd be like Ohio State losing to Michigan and making fake the pants they
Golden
have.
pants, true. Yeah.
Yeah, the silver pants. I don't know. Like, it's so beyond me. And if that's where we're at a program, that can I be honest, that's one of the breaking points I got to when I was like, I'm not buying tickets. If you have a fake trophy, what soft nonsense is that? Is you put a fake, no, leave that thing empty. Let these guys know, because nowadays with transfers, you don't get, these guys don't understand the rivalries unless it's in Ohio State, Michigan. Everyone gets that. But if you recruit a kid from Kentucky or Iowa or Pennsylvania, they don't know much about Purdue IU. But when they walk in, like, oh, did we win it last year? There's a no, we didn't. Leave that thing empty, and that's it. But I was fired up.
Chris brings up a good point. I'll be right back.
Well, first of all, he got the name wrong. It's the Chris Wilds OHIO. Wait, I'm sorry. No, the OHIO Chris Wilds Memorial.
It wouldn't be the OHIO podcast with Dylan Kuhn without the best podcast rivalry. We're going to have to retire this without BXP, man.
No, you and me will fight for it.
Oh, okay. All right.
No,
this is the Chris Wilds Memorial rivalry trophy.
No, the Chris Wilds Big Banter Memorial Trophy, since we killed Big Banter.
Yes, we did. We did. We killed Big Banter. We had a rivalry trophy. Yeah.
I have yet to see it, but
this is well, I don't think we even play each other this year. So
no, you guys got off easy.
All right, after the Notre Dame game, you're at Illinois. I don't think Illinois is going to be as good this year as they were last year.
Really, Big Bert? I like Big Bert. I think he's funny.
I like Big
He warms
Bert.
benches.
True.
And then you're home against Minnesota, home against Washington.
Those maroon breeches from PJ Fleck. And
I think they can beat Minnesota. I don't think Minnesota's up and down all the time.
Lord, I'd hope. I just want to beat somebody. I want a Big Ten win. I haven't seen a Big Ten win in 2 years.
You get a bye week, then you're at Beaver
Automatic
Stadium
win.
taking on Penn State.
Mm.
Now, here's a win. Home, Rossade, Maryland.
Man, I hope. We have an underlying hate for Maryland for buffoons in the Baltimore area. So anytime we beat Maryland, I'm happy.
November 14th at Kinnick Stadium. That's Iowa, for all of you who don't know. Saturday,
know.
November 21st, home against Wisconsin. That could be a win.
That could be a win.
It's been 20-something years since we beat Wisconsin.
And then you finish off at Memorial Stadium with the upset of all upsets when you beat Indiana.
God, I hope.
All right, here's what I think. Here's your ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's your ceiling.
God, let's hope.
Your floor, 1.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I know God's got bigger problems, but I've been praying for 6 months. God, just one
There's
time.
nothing God can't handle, though.
I don't know, but for Purdue football may be too much to chew for the big fella.
Well, he did joke in the Chosen, and even some things I can't do.
Yeah, and that may be one.
That may be Purdue, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Hey, Don McClure says 7-5. I'm all for it. I like the way Don thinks.
Hey, listen. Until Washington earns their ability to beat Ohio State, they are Washington to me. Sorry, Chris.
God,
Chris, it's past your bedtime.
It's breakfast time next day for him right now.
All right. If anybody's got any questions for DK here at the end of the show, go ahead and put those in the chat.
I think
Dang, Chris! Come on, dude. There's no way that 0 wins is their floor.
Ban him. How do you take away his
They're gonna beat Indiana State, the Sycamore.
I thought you were going to say Indiana for a second. Like they're going to beat Indiana.
That was oof.
Yeah.
I would love if they did. No.
Wild.
If you get 3 wins, you're moving forward.
Hey,
That's right,
DK,
Alex.
I got a question for you.
Yo.
Let's say you're 0-11, but you beat Indiana. You good with that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. If we ruin like a possibility of repeating, yeah, I'm cool with that. I would suffer through another year just to beat Indiana. Give me the bucket.
Here you go, DK. Don says, I think Purdue's going to pull a couple upsets this year.
I like this Don guy. I like him a lot. I'm a big fan of his.
Got a poster of Don on your wall and everything.
I do. I'm going to tell you that much.
He's just gonna go to the local Piggly Wigglies and buy a poster board and get a Sharpie and just write Don on it.
Yeah. You
The
think I'm
Don
kidding?
poster.
You just gave me an idea. Shout
There
out
we
to
go.
Don.
Here we go. Alex, as someone who called the upset preseason in 2018, how did that Purdue win over Ohio State feel? How do you feel having beat us the same amount of times as the University of Michigan since 2000 and didn't cheat to do it?
Listen, I've been I was at the 09 game. I was at obviously the 18 game. And there's one in between that. It wasn't 12, 13?
I have suppressed said losses.
That was the undefeated year with Urban.
2011 maybe?
13. It wasn't 13. 11,
there was some stat I saw a few years ago where it's like every Ohio State coach on the way out, their last loss was against Purdue. I feel like I saw that.
Urban
I have nothing to back that up.
Purdue.
Yeah, we about took Urban out. Buddy was struggling on the sideline. I mean, I was a little worried about him, but no, that
2011 nailed it. Yep, 26-23, 2011.
So you could beat
that was
Fickle
Luke. That was Luke Fickle on his last year. Yeah.
Oh, that was Fickle.
Yeah,
Man.
and then 2009 was Tress.
Right.
2010 we pummeled you, but it got vacated. So you're right. 2009 is the last legit game according to NCAA, and that would have been Tressel's last since 2010 didn't count. So Tress, Fick, and then Urban. Yep. You beat all 3 of them on their last.
You're
games.
next, Ryan Day.
Let's find out about Cooper though. Let's see.
I think
Yes, Cooper too.
Yeah.
2000. They lost to Purdue in 2000.
the
Cooper's
banner.
last year, 31-27. That's 4. You retired 4 Ohio State coaches in a row.
Heck yeah, we did.
That's the craziest stat of all time.
I am shocked that my brain remembered such a thing. But
Well, you didn't got many stats to remember, so
Ryan Day.
Ryan Day's coming back next year, guys.
Count your days, buddy.
Because he beat Purdue last time he played them. So he's going to be back next year at least.
No, but that 18 game, man, that legitimately is probably my favorite memory of like going to Purdue games. Just because, you had the Tyler Trent game, who was a friend of mine. The whole, Rondale going bananas, where he, completely stopped the entire Buckeye defense. TJ Knox was running the ball downhill. Blau had a just incredible game. That 2018 game, and it was one of the last games I attended with my dad, and we got to rush the field and all that. So that game holds a lot of love for me. And I'll always talk about it. My Ohio State friends are like, oh, there you go. Now that game I will forever talk about. And then that 2011 was, here's a name, Robert Marv, from the goal line, ran one in, snuck it in. Pretty sure Robert Marv has been in jail a few times since that game. I hope he's doing well.
he's still celebrating.
But yeah, it's weird how Purdue has had Ohio State's number. And like I've said, prior to knowing you all, I hated Ohio State. I hated everything about it. I was jealous. I hated living amongst you people. I hated. So anytime we beat Ohio State at football.
What do you mean, you people?
You people.
I think when he means you people, he's talking about people like Chris, who says, well, looks like Diebler's safe.
Yeah, shut up, Wild. Glad you're not on the show tonight. I'd take Buck Vader over yourself.
Ohio State coach ever against Purdue.
Yeah. No, but like I would come back home with my chest out. Like I think I had a Facebook post after the 2018 game that was all caps and said, "Feed me your tears." People were not happy with me. But no,
people are not happy with me.
Yeah, right.
No, this is a legitimate question from Buck Vader. It's a basketball question. Why can't Purdue basketball? Why can't Purdue basketball actually beat Ohio State under Diebler? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. It's been a frustrating basketball season, but like at the same time, we've lost 8 or 9 games, and we'll probably get like a 3 seed. Like, anytime. Here's my thing: anytime Purdue has in basketball, because we haven't had in football in a long time. Anytime in basketball we have that number 1 by our name, it's just bad omen for the Boilers. Nothing good ever happens of us being number 1. Last time we were number 1 in the tournament, or maybe not the last time, but we lost to FDU and all these terrible, 16 seeds we got upset by. So I'm cool with Purdue not having the number 1 seed. What worries me is the immense lack of momentum we have going into the Big Ten tournament, which is in Chicago, which is dumb. But yeah, this isn't a basketball.
We just found out we're in Michigan's bracket, by the way.
Oh, good. Hey, and they are scary.
We play
good.
Iowa game 1.
No, we have 2 buys, and then whoever I forget which winner of which game it is, but if we win that game, we're going to play Michigan.
They are scary.
If you're going to win it, you might as well beat them on the way there.
I'll root for you. Cool uniforms they have this year too. The script, it's very nice. Not as cool as our script.
That's old school, dude. That's what we used to have years ago.
Yeah, but not as cool as our script uniform.
That's why it was great to see Bruce break it in an old school uniform, break Dennis Hobson's record.
Yes. Big Ten basketball tournament bracket.
It's in Chicago, which is stupid. It should
I'm actually psyched for March Madness. I love March Madness. I just hate that I'm going to have to work those days, but I'm going to.
We're going to be
TV at work. I'm going to have it on March Madness.
Dude, we put it on in the classrooms.
We're going to be on Patreon watching it all the time. So that's my plan, is to get on Patreon and just play games on Patreon all day.
I don't know if you want me. Like when Purdue made it to the Final Four, it was on Easter Sunday. And my entire family was at my mom's house, and I was pacing back and forth in her living room, chewing on a dish towel. It was not a good representation.
Jesus.
Oh,
The only thing it's bringing up is
that was
old-
before I started going to church. Now I've been baptized and going to church. Maybe Purdue will be good. Maybe that
Was
maybe
that this
that's
past year you did that?
yeah, I got baptized probably about a month ago. It was
Well,
February 15th.
congratulations, man. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Appreciate that.
Yes. I've been tangentially following your conversion online, and I have not said anything during this podcast, but congratulations. Proud of you, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right. Any other questions for DK out there?
No, I
And,
appreciate everyone said so many nice things, and I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah,
It's been a
we
while
love you,
since
man.
I've
We
been
love
on
you,
a
DK.
podcast. I've been texting Bogsy that I'm itching to talk into a microphone. It's been far too long. I miss doing BXP, but at the end of the day, Chris had twins. Frank got a new job. Damon has, switched jobs, whatever. And Russ just had a baby boy. So all them dudes are just churning out babies instead of wanting to do a damn podcast. And it's
Jeez.
the selfishness of them.
Don't you
really.
have a lady friend now, too?
I do. And she has 3 boys. So I guess, I'm in that too in a different way.
Yeah.
But no, I've been teaching them how to hoop. Coach Kuhn in here just
Are you
Okay,
also
that-
the voice of your high school, like at the high school games?
Yeah, so I was asked by our athletic director at the beginning of the year if I would call girls basketball games, and I did. And then I did a couple of our varsity boys games. And I grew up with our head football or our head basketball coach. So I've gotten involved in our basketball program a little bit, but I did call a game this year, and I lost my voice. It was a big game. It was a big game against a rival who hadn't lost. I think they had at the time like a 14 game win streak, and we needed the win really bad for conference play. And I went to practice the day before, got nicknames from the guys, had to be appropriate. And then I'm just screaming into this microphone. We got a 6'6" kid who's blocking shots, and I'm like just losing my God living mind. And at the end of it, I was like, I probably did too much. Like people probably are so pissed off, and we ended up losing too. But the next day at the school, we have a thing with donuts with grown-ups where kids' parents come in and have a donut with them, in the morning in the cafeteria. And I had like 4 or 5 people come up to me like, "Oh, we love the way you called that game. It was so good." I'm like, "Oh, thank God." I thought like people were so mad at me. Like, God, this idiot screaming into the microphone. But the crowd was so loud you really couldn't hear me. So I even turned it up a little bit. But yeah, I have dipped my toe into that. Now, as like I said, I grew up with our boys varsity basketball coach and really good friends with him, and so I've gotten involved in that a little bit, trying to get the program where we want it to be. So yeah, I do a lot. I probably do a little too much. I stay busy, but that's the way I like it. But calling games was so far out of my comfort zone. It's one thing to do a podcast like this where you don't see the people watching. I'm granted we doing the podcast, but there's not eyes staring at you besides you four. So it's not as intimidating. But like when you get into a contested big time high school basketball game where the gym is absolutely packed, you sweat a little bit. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not one to get nervous a lot. I was very nervous.
Oh, shoot. Hey, some said, hey, you guys need to be doing a basketball podcast. We've tried. We've tried to start it multiple times. No one ever watches it. Ohio State fans are like, round ball? No, thank you.
With round ball into hoop, what?
Yeah, it's a foreign concept to us. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 o'clock, with another roundtable discussion show for all of you. Thank you so much again, DK, for joining us.
Anytime.
Shout out to Vader for doing his thing earlier on the program. See, you got me saying program, DK.
The influence I have.
Appreciate you,
Corey, is that
Vader.
a padlock? Are you going to beat somebody with that?
Yeah, like I'm waiting for Corey to take it, put it in a towel, and slap the camera. Thanks for joining us as well, Corey. With your
yeah, hey, thanks, Corey. Forget you, wild man. Nobody cares. Go to bed.
Wild Man will be on tomorrow night, guys. So you'll get to see him.
Won't be watching that one.
His smiling face tomorrow.
That grumpy old fish. I don't know what to call them.
Oh, shoot.
I love wild. We all know that.
We all do.
I
Have
love
a
all
good
you
night,
guys.
everybody. You all know the drill. Till next time, be kind one another. I owe someone's OH. Sing Carmen High with all your heart. You all know what to do. OH!
Spoiler.
Ayo.
Go Bucks. See you tomorrow.